we are finally starting a multi-part series that's some 5 years in the making.
The search for the lost vault of DeGrau.
I really don't have any idea what a precious metal mine in the mountains of Vermont would even look like. But I do know for sure there's a gold mine less than 20 miles from here in the mountains of Plymouth, Vermont.
I think we should check out that mine and get a better idea of what we're doing here.
I think that's probably a pretty good idea. Should we head to Plymouth?
Let's go.
Hey folks,
Welcome back.
today we are in the mountains of Plymouth, Vermont, about 2 miles downstream from our destination. We are both, admittedly, completely ignorant in the field of precious metal mining.
That's fairly accurate.
So we're here today to explore an abandoned gold mine so that we have a better idea of what to be looking for as we search for DeGrau's vault. During America's gold rush, there were about 50 gold mines in Vermont, but we chose this one to explore today because of its proximity to Chaos Canyon, less than 20 miles. And after some research, we found some pretty eerie similarities to the tales of DeGrau. It doesn't appear as though it's going to be a very easy hike today. There isn't a ton of snow, but there's ice everywhere. It's going to be pretty slick, so we probably should get started. When this mine first opened around 1880, it was owned by the Rooks Mining Company. They were very profitable for a short period of time, but they grew too fast, and due to severe delays trying to get mining equipment up here, they had many lawsuits on unpaid salaries, and it inevitably caused them to go bankrupt before the turn of the century. Soon after, one man named Henry Fox purchased all this property and spent the next 30 years living here alone, working the mine all by himself. His story, although 50 years after the first mention of DeGrau, has some pretty compelling parallels.
Like a hidden booby-trapped cave of treasure.
The following account is read directly from the New York World newspaper, March 8, 1898. Henry Fox, Oxford graduate, owner of the famous Rooks Gold Mine, and the most remarkable hermit New England has ever known, has refused an offer for his claim and will under no circumstances quit Vermont for the Klondike. Fox has owned the Rooks mine and lived at its mouth so long that he has come to be as much of a landmark as the mountains themselves. Moreover, he has guarded its secrets so successfully that little or nothing has been definitely known regarding the wealth concealed there. Besides the reputation the place bears, the fact that it's out of the established line of travel, in a mountain pass, wild, chaotic, mysterious, abundant in caves, underground passages, and growling subterranean streams, accounts in part for the few visitors who have ever found their way there. Of those who have been admitted to the mine, few have gained any definite knowledge regarding either Fox or his gold. 2 miles of hard scrambling, and the woodway ends in a rock-bound amphitheater, marked by the ruins of half a dozen unpainted houses and machinery strewn among the boulders. One house hugs the walls of a high cliff and bars the entrance to the mine. This is where the Hermit calls his home. In March of 1898, a reporter from the New York World newspaper was invited to the mine. Fox led him to a room in his home, bare of every article of furniture, with the exception of an old table. After locking the door and laying the key on that table, he called the attention of his visitor to the cascading view out the window. Fox momentarily vanished into a secret room and returned with an old felt hat filled to the brim with nuggets of virgin gold. Fox then led the reporter a quarter-mile from his house, in a part of a ravine filled with loose rocks and prolific in caves. He entered a well-concealed passageway, which led to a chamber of some size. Pulling to one side a rock, he touched a spring or button and held up his lantern. He smiled. Pretty good, eh? The contents of this pocket must not be told of. "Aren't you afraid you'll be robbed?" the reporter asked. The hermit looked sharply at his visitor, pointing to a small copper wire at the entrance of the chamber. He shrugged his shoulders and laughed. That laugh was one of confidence.
Well, I believe we've arrived. We've been hiking, what would you say, 20, 30 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
We just came to the first, clearly man-made structure here, which is an old stone foundation. I suspect this was one of the offices from when it was the Rooks mine. Not much left now. Now, before we came out here, we reached out to our friend Scott. You may remember him from a gold panning video 2 years ago, and he gave us some good verbal directions of where we can find the entrance to the mine, northwest. So we're gonna head that way and see if we can find it. This is steep. Eddie, do you think that all of our hikes looking for this treasure are going to be on steep hills?
It would appear so.
Yeah, so far that seems to be the case. Holy smokes. When you look at this terrain, it looks just like Hell's Half Acre and Chaos Canyon. Bedrock exposed everywhere. Very similar. As we are making our way up, I can't help but look at stuff like this. That looks like it's another porcupine hole, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh man, something's living in there.
Yeah. But I can't help but think about Henry's booby-trapped cave.
Ah yes.
The story said that it was a quarter-mile away in a big ravine, booby-trapped, full of gold. Maybe we'll have to make a return trip someday.
I think it'd be worth it.
Try to find that. But like I said, you see stuff like this, I almost want to reach my hand in there and pull out a...
Don't do it.
No.
Bear trap.
This time on When Animals Attack. It is like quite a little cave though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Seems like these sort of things are everywhere around here. All right, let's keep going up. I think I see something up there, Eddie.
What is it?
Wow. That's crazy.
That's amazing.
Well, Eddie, I'd say we found it.
It appears so. It's a lot steeper and icy than I suspected.
This hole is straight down, almost. All the DeGrau tales refer to a silver mine, while this, as we've talked about, was a gold mine. But I found a report from the 1929 state geologist that said that this mine also contained silver, so I have to imagine a silver mine in this part of the United States, in Vermont, in the mountains, would have to be similar.
Oh, it makes sense.
Or, it's even possible that the DeGrau tales were incorrect and they actually were mining gold, not silver.
There were different variations of the tale, though, saying
Yeah.
they were mining for silver, mining for gold.
So I think it would be massively helpful if one of us went down in there so that we could get a sample of the material. Then we can then, you know, compare to Chaos Canyon and Hell's Half Acre.
Say what?
So we have something in hand, or at least detailed photos, so that we can then, you know what we're looking for as we search these other areas.
Right.
You want to rock, paper, scissors? No, it was my idea. I'll go down.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
Let me find my gloves.
Please be careful. I don't know how I'm gonna haul you out of this if you just fall and break everything.
It's all about the adventure, Eddie. So I am going to tie off on this tree right here. I gotta get to it first. So far, so good. I feel good. I feel sturdy.
Oh my gosh. Are you sure you don't want to tie on to like a full-size tree?
I'm having flashbacks to the well.
You're just gonna secure it to that little tree there?
I don't know, do you think I should go for a bigger tree?
You just tied it on the smallest tree you could find. For any who don't remember, the well did not go as originally planned whatsoever.
Having second thoughts. Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It just occurred to me, I forgot my camera. You just toss it, I grab it.
Sure?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Be careful, man.
Beautiful with all the ice, icicles. You can see that it is still kind of actively caving in, all that dirt on top of the ice. Really wasn't prepared for something like this. I thought we were going to be walking into a doorway, which is pretty naive, I guess. There's just a complete sheet of ice right here. And I didn't bring ice spikes or anything. I'm not going to be able to get back up again. You hear that though, Eddie? That's the sound. That's the sound you were describing.
Yeah, at least that was accurate.
Yeah, we got the sound right. Alright, so as I said, this is as far down as I'm going to be able to get, because I didn't bring any ice spikes or anything. But it does appear to go right down into blackness. Eddie, will you throw me my pick?
Sure.
I'm going to take a chunk of this. We're going to bring this with us, and you can see all the quartz in there, and we're going to be able to compare this to, the stone in these various places we're going to search to give us some kind of idea of where this mine might be located. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. So Eddie was remarking on my harness, and I said, "Thanks, Mr. Sprague." Mr. Sprague was my gym teacher in 5th grade, and we had a huge cargo net that probably went 30 feet up in our gym, and he taught us how to build these harnesses using paracord. We would just climb this huge cargo net, all of us, a bunch of 10-year-olds. But I still remember how to do it, and we just used it to go down into a giant gold mine shaft.
I wish my gym teacher taught me that. We did line dancing.
So what did we learn from today's adventure?
Well, foremost, not all mines are just a straight doorway into mountain.
Yeah.
Some of them are very steep, icy, treacherous, and big hole in the ground.
Yeah. We learned that a mine as big as this one can be operated by one man or a small team like DeGrau's men. As we search for a mine in Chaos Canyon, we should be looking for materials such as this, full of quartz that clearly holds gold, but could also hold silver as well.
I think maybe next time around it would be wise to invest in some legitimate climbing gear as well.
Mr. Sprague's paracord harness wasn't good enough for you?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think also within 250 years, DeGrau's vault could have caved in.
Yeah, that's going to make the search exponentially harder.
Could be why no one found it.
Could be. Well, thanks again for coming along on this journey with us. Hopefully you'll join us next time as we continue this adventure searching for the Vault of DeGrau.